You need to shift, and then the finances will come. People might change during your shift. Don't forget that the Lord is taking care of everything. And it's not necessarily a warning, but you are uncomfortable in the place that you are. You're looking for a different environment, a better looking environment. I feel like that shift and that change is coming for you. There'll be a feeling of contentment, a feeling of like it's right, like that's where you should be. And that feeling is gonna give you like a sense of really great joy, but it was where you were destined to be anyway. Wherever the Lord wanted to place you, that's where that joy was. That joy is coming. And again, it's like a perspective shift. The way that you view where you're at is gonna shift. That joy is gonna come. I don't know, I keep hearing joy in the shift. Joy in the shift. So in the shifting, there will be joy. When you're actually where you need to be, there will be joy. And so like the joy and the shift are parallel. They're going at the same pace. So they're gonna be almost like in tandem together. So be excited about this shift because the joy will be attached to it. That shift is gonna be intentional. The Lord planned this shift, so don't be surprised when it comes. Don't be like, oh, wait, Lord, things are changing. What's happening? No, be excited. You need to make sure that you're prepared for the shift that's happening. You might need to let go of some people who can't go with you where you're shifting to. I think you already know that these people are not going where you're going. So you need to just like, kind of just say, you know what, you're not for me. They will weigh you down. So the shifting will be a lot more painful, a lot more hard, and a lot more difficult if they're still with you. So you're going to have to kind of just say, you know what, you were for this season only. I'm moving on to things for me. And that shift is going to happen. And for that to be more seamless, these people cannot go with you. So I don't know if it's a relationship. You're going to have to decide about that yourself. You're going to have to pray to the Lord and say, what people cannot come with me when I'm shifting and I'm changing and I'm moving from here from one place to another. You're going to have to pray to the Lord about that. I'm also getting shift in finances. It's not necessarily that you're in lack right now, but your finances are going to change because wherever the Lord wants you, you're going to need more. You're going to need more finances to equip you where you're going to be, to keep you there, to sustain you. You're shifting in finances. And I think maybe you had thought that your finances were going to shift earlier on or be different ahead of time. The finances don't need to come before the shift. You need to shift and then the finances will come. That's what I'm understanding. So your shifting is not dependent on your finances. Yes, be prepared. But some of you, the shifting that's going to happen, the finances will be after the fact. Once you move, once you change job, once you go different states, then the finances will come. And again, be prepared ahead of time in the best way that you can be and ask the Lord to help you prepare. But you're going to need to have some level of preparedness to get you through the shift. If you're shifting in jobs, it might be good to have a little stash of cash, to get you through the switching in careers or jobs or whatever it is. This shift in your life is going to be a catalyst for an unfolding of several events in your life. They're going to be good things. They're going to be good events. It's going to be a catalyst for great things to come. The shift was necessary. I'm kind of getting this vision of, if you've ever seen like an earthquake, right? And earthquakes can create kind of like a trench, almost like a ditch that's going like really long and it's separating the two sides of the crust. And I feel like this shift is kind of like that separation. But the separation is necessary for these other events to unfold. I mean, when the earthquakes happen, there's like ripple effects. They're like, things might fall or stuff might break apart or whatever it is. There's several effects, physical effects, but the effects of the shift are going to be positive. They're going to be helpful for you. It's going to lead to other elevations that you were hoping for, didn't know when they would come, but they were going to come after your shift. And you need to be patient while everything is happening, while everything is unfolding. It might seem like it's not happening as quick as you want it to. It might not be as easy as you want it to be, but the shift is necessary. And so you need to be grateful to the Lord for that shift. You need to be rooted in your word. You need to be rooted in God. Make sure that you keep your confidence in Him and your faith in the process and what He's doing, because it's going to get very easy to be discouraged. But again, the shift is very necessary. It's going to be very helpful for you in the next phase of life. Don't forget that the Lord is bringing you from one place to another. It's not you doing the work. Don't forget that the Lord is taking care of everything. So even when it looks kind of weird, even when it looks troubling, even when it looks hard, even when it looks impossible, give thanks to the Lord. Make sure that you're staying in his presence, because it will keep you rooted and grounded through that shift, because shifts are hard, transitions are not easy. And so you're going to need to have something to keep you grounded in during the shift, and obviously after, but especially during the shift. Don't rely on people to be what keeps you grounded, because people might change during your shift. People who you thought were going to keep you solid, keep you grounded, and help you kind of stay settled and content, and maybe even just not worried, they're not going to be as stable as you think they are. And I think the Lord's being intentional with that thing. You're going to have to make sure you stay rooted in God only. Be okay with whatever changes come, because know that they are working for your good. The Bible says all things work for the good of those who love the Lord and are working according to his purpose. So know that everything is intentional during this shift. In the natural, it will not look as pretty as you thought it was going to be, but the shift is a good thing, it's a positive thing. It sounds really weird, but you know when you try a new skincare product or something like that, and sometimes your face kind of, your acne might get worse, or your skin might look worse before it gets better. It's kind of gonna be like that. Things might not look that pretty for a hot minute, but then they're gonna get better, they're gonna look better. And that's why you have to be patient, obviously, with the process, and be rooted in God through the process, so that you don't kind of get discouraged or let what you see discourage you. But your faith is going to be very important during the shift. Knowing and seeing in the spiritual realm is going to be very, very, very important. Again, don't be discouraged. Be excited. Be joyful. And ask the Lord to help you maintain that joy. Ask the Lord that your joy is not dependent on your circumstances or what your life looks like, but that your joy is rooted in him, that your faith is strong. And I think that's part of the preparedness part, is like, if you have, weak faith, it's not going to be helpful during the shift. So you need to have strong faith. Say, Lord, I want my faith to be very strong, very grounded, very solid before the shift. So pray that the Lord does that work in your life, and that joy continues throughout the entire process. Anything that seems like is being taken from you or a loss, it's really for your gain. Remember that it's going to be for your gain. It's not to take away. And it's not necessarily a warning, but just so that you're prepared. He really wants you to be ready. He really wants you to have the right mindset, because if you don't have the proper mindset, the way you're going to view your situation won't be right. And if you don't view your situation right, the decisions you're going to make will not be right as well. So if you have the right perspective, you have the right mind, you have the right understanding, then your decisions will be based off of the correct understanding the Lord gave you already. Friend, be in prayer, be in heavy prayer. Ask the Lord for guidance, ask the Lord for instruction, ask the Lord for the proper feelings about the situation. Ask the Lord to give you comfort through it, because a lot of things are going to shift. And when things shift in life, it's very easy to feel unsettled, but the Lord doesn't want you to feel unsettled. He wants you to be confident that he's got you and he's carried you through this entire process, and he will continue to. And again, do not be dependent on people, because they will change, they will be different, they will not be the same. So that's just really, really important that you focus on being rooted in God and God alone, because he's the one who's prepared the shift for you, and he's the one who's going to see you through the shift. If the Lord has already spoke to you about this shift, then again, go to him in prayer. If you feel like he hadn't or he has, go to him in prayer and ask him for more clarity, confirmation, understanding, so that you know that this is for you. Thank you guys for watching. I pray that this was helpful. I will see you guys in my next video, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.